What's going on, guys? God damn it. 0 for 2. What's going on, guys? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. It's time for another episode of the Inner Sea 2 Electric Boogaloo. We have a couple of more brand new regions before we start talking about the changes to the big ones. Today, in light of the fact that we've been talking about the Megambia, let's talk about the brand new nation of Vidrian. If you're liking what you're seeing, remember to like, subscribe, and ding that bell. Today, this episode of the Inner Sea 2 Electric Boogaloo was brought to you in part by Wiffle Possum Productions and a really loud cat. Thank you for your help, man. Now, let's hit it. So, a long time ago in Pathfinder 1st Edition, Vidrian was not Vidrian. It was a colonist nation known as Sargava. A long time ago, in its glory days, Cheliax established a colony in the Mwangi Expanse, then the Empire fell apart, something enormous hurricane. The colony was cut off, had to fend for itself, and seek protection from pirates in the region. Those days have come and they have gone. After years of constant adversity, the locals have enacted a change in their lands, and what began as a small revolt by Mwangi servants and slaves soon became a complete overthrow of the nation's overlords. Some of the colonists, bear in mind, now several generations removed from both the golden age of Cheliax, as well as the nation in and of itself, disdainful at the state of Sargava at the hands of their kin, joined the Mwangi peoples, and thus they were able to take the capital of Elidir with relative ease. Unfortunately, that wasn't the only hurdle to jump over. They also had to contend with the free captains of the shackles. Not content to lose their easy stream of revenue in the form of protection money from a whole nation, the free captains waged a bloody war against the rebels that lasted for over a year. After countless engagements and a hastily written alliance with Sengor, the combined forces of the Mwangi and Turncoat colonists successfully drove off the pirates, and in 4717, the new nation of Vidrian was founded. Today, 2 years later, Vidrian's people work hard to use the advantages and resources that originally drew Cheliax to colonize the region to bring the country closer to economic stability. Some use the ships seized from defeated free captains to trade along the coast of Garund. Ambassadors have set out to help establish diplomatic ties. They've already found success in Andoran, Absalom, Osirion, and Ravenel, and this progress shows no sign of slowing down. However, the scars of colonization still burden the nation. Having literally just toppled the former rulers, the people of Vidrian are all too aware of how easy their fledgling society could be reconquered. While all Vidrics, as they are known, agree that steps must be taken to rebuild the country's economy and protect the Mwangi Expanse from being colonized again, such noble goals are easier said than done. Vidrian's current government is a pragmatic collective of disparate, influential powers, each with a different idea on how we might go about doing that. As you would expect from any new government, let alone a new government facing problems like this often leads to disorganized gridlock. Diplomatic overtures aimed at other Mwangi nations have been met with reluctance, as these long, self-sufficient city-states have little desire to give up their independence. Even the alliance with Sengor is untested, and there are other Mwangi states, namely the state of Imzali, that seem more inclined to see Vidrian as a threat rather than an ally. So obviously, there's a lot to do here. There's a lot going on here. It's like Ravenel, and hey, if you slept on that one, follow this card right up here. It's not all doom and devils in Cheliax these days. But from jump reading this, not only do I think that throwing off colonial oppressors is cool, I'm seeing, just flipping through this part of the Lost Omens World Guide, that the Mwangi Expanse is no longer just here is where the jungle and the dinosaurs are. Go a little north, you find Egypt. Watch out for the giant sentient apes. Oh, also hurricane. There are truly independent, organized, and probably most importantly, named and thus recognizable regions and states in Garund. That's world building 101 right there. And I just love that we're seeing that coming from a region that had nothing start to feel a lot more like just across the Inner Sea. Vidrian itself feels also a lot like Ravenel. We've thrown off our oppressors, we have the ability to govern ourselves, But how exactly are we going to go about doing that? What prevents us from making steps that other less than good nations in the past have done? A lot of times in my games, I find that I'm kind of just wanting to show up, fight a monster, get some gold. I think a lot of those times, though, reptile brain was engaged and I was just looking for a little bit of escapism. If you want complex human issues, Vidrian has them in spades. Actually, I might throw this to my polycule. We've been talking about doing an aquatic campaign that takes place somewhere where the land would still be relevant and you're not just boat to boat forever. Something like a river delta was the first thing that came to mind, but you gotta think that some of the free captains are gonna try their luck sometimes, right? What if they were to get a little more organized? Vidrian versus the free captains of the shackles. Will Sengor come back? Well, that's a campaign unto itself. Anyway, what do you guys think? How would you rebuild Vidrian? What things are you looking forward to seeing as bigger, hopefully, splat books on these regions come to light? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and your support. You guys are the best. The next episode of the Inner Sea 2 Electric Boogaloo drops next Friday.